Lots going on in this video today, so I hijacked a friend's house. I'm talking about nature deficiency, and most of all, I'm showcasing a beautiful woodworking piece from Awesomology 101. More on that very soon. We're actually very nature deficient. And so this video today is all about how we can bring nature into our lives and into our homes so that we can reduce blood pressure and release anger and work on anxiety and different levels of depression that we might be experiencing because we are so nature deficient. And I'm going to talk about nature deficiency first, and then we're going to be talking about how we can incorporate nature into our home in a way that subconsciously helps us to address many of these issues that I just spoke of. If you're new here, my name is Michelle Pava. I'm a licensed psychotherapist, and I would love for you to subscribe and hit the bell so that we can stay connected. So the idea of nature deficiency, nature deficient disorder, is actually a term keyed by Richard Louv, and his idea is that we spend, especially children, less and less time outdoors. And from his research, the more children are spending time away from being outdoors and away from being connected to nature, and the more they are on tablets and the more they are indoors, the more there is a prevalence of ADHD and some other behavioral situations that he feels are really related to being outdoors or not outdoors. Now, of course, there's two sides to this. One side might be that it has nothing to do with being outdoors and it has everything to do with being in front of a screen. But the two do go hand in hand, and we know that even eye health is better when you're not just constantly looking at a screen or looking at a book, something close up. So landscapes and looking farther away is actually an exercise for the eyes that's very, very good for eye health. But most of you that are watching right now are not watching for your children, you're watching for yourself. So what does it mean for us? What does it mean for us if we have anxiety or stress levels? Well, let's first look at what it is to go on vacation. Most people who go on vacation are either going to a beach, to the mountains, or they're sightseeing, and most of sightseeing is going to entail some level of being outdoors. Even if it's a city, you're going from city block to city block, finding whatever that museum or whatever the entertainment might be. So right then and there, we know that when people are craving going to the beach or craving going to the mountains, we know that most people, for the most part, are going to the mountains or the beach because they want to be outside. They want to be by the ocean. They want to feel the sand in their toes. They want to look up at the trees. They want to have nothingness around them and just nature. So we already know that most vacations in some way are set up so that we can be closer to nature. There was a study once done, and I don't have the date or any other information on that study. I'll try to put the information below. But the bottom line is there was a study with gallbladder patients who had gallbladder surgery, and they took 4 quadrants. Okay, so they had one quadrant of people who had the surgery, and they had them wheeled outside for about 20 minutes a day. And then they had another set of people who were in their hospital room, and in that hospital room they had a window. And then in another quadrant of people, they had someone that maybe they didn't have a window, they weren't being wheeled outside, but they had a photograph of nature in front of them or a painting. And then the last group of people, there was no window, there was no being wheeled outside in the fresh air, and there was no painting or picture of nature in front of them. So what do you think the result was here? Of course, I'm relaying this research so you know what it's going to be, right? You have an idea. The people that were outside and were able to be wheeled outside after their surgery recuperated faster. But it's more than that. They recuperated at over 50% faster just because they were wheeled outside and they had fresh air. The people that had windows recovered a little bit faster, but not quite at that rate. The people that had a picture in their room or some kind of artwork that was of nature recuperated at about an average time, but the people that had absolutely no connection to nature, not even the visualization of a painting or a picture, actually had more infections, and they took longer to recover. Just being out in fresh air, being able to see the sky, maybe some trees, we know that that is more connecting to us and that we need to be outdoors. Now, we've had a lot of isolation lately, and we've had a lot of quarantine, lockdown, not just isolation, but self-isolation, not connecting to other people. So when we're not connecting as much to other people, we might stop doing the very things that used to bring us outdoors, right? Taking walks with others and so forth. So if you have been keeping yourself indoors, this is a really good time to get outdoors a little bit so that you can boost your immune system, not just for what's going on right now, but in general. So there's a little quick exercise that I want you to do right now. I want you to go through your home and I want you to code each room as far as nature deficiency. So, or actually, let's do it as far as nature plus, let's call it that. So each and every room, I want you to think about what room has lots of windows looking to outdoors that you enjoy, where maybe it's trees, a yard, something beautiful that you actively look out and really take in the landscape. Then I want you to look at how many items in that room are really connecting to nature. And I don't mean a table and chairs, okay? I mean, what kind of artwork do you have? What kind of pictures do you have? What types of decor do you have in that room that remind you that you are connected to nature? Do you have seashells? Like, what do you have around? So what kind of pictures, etc. So I want you to look at that as well. So as you go room to room, the green rooms are going to be the rooms that have the outdoors and the windows coming in. You're going to have plants in that room. You're going to have decor. You're going to have maybe pictures on the wall that are reminiscent of nature. So I want you to go through those rooms. So green would be all of those. A room that just has a window, even if it goes outdoor to a landscape, but not much else happening in that room that is intentional for you to really take in some of that outdoor nature and bring it in and closer to you. That means you don't have seashells out. You don't have anything that has a strong grain wood component to it. You don't have anything that might be slate or rocks around. You're really disconnected then from nature perhaps. So that room is going to be yellow. We're going to keep it at yellow just because there might be a window. Now, if you have a room that does not have a window, but you made an intentional attempt at bringing nature in with maybe a photograph or a painting on the wall that is very nature focused, then you can still keep that in a yellow. The red rooms are going to be the rooms that really don't have anything intentional that's connected to nature, and they may or may not have a window. If the window's there, it's very uninspiring. You know, that's a room where sunlight isn't streaming into the room. You're not seeing trees. You're not seeing a beautiful landscape. You're not drawn to it. Or for whatever reason, you have it blocked in some way, or you can't get to it, or you have heavy curtains all of the time over top of that landscape. Now I want you to really take a look. If you don't have a very big emphasis on how nature is being brought into that room, you need to really be careful, because if you're living in a way that is unintentional and disconnected to nature, and you're not going out a whole lot, and when I say a whole lot, you need to be outside at least 20 minutes a day. Now, this is super important that I want you to do this because there are so many things in our lives that steal joy from us and steal from us in so many ways. So not just scrolling social networking and seeing lots of negativity, and that could even be Instagram or Pinterest where you might be comparing yourself to others, or it can be relationships in your life that just really aren't serving you purpose and maybe not serving them purpose. It could be negativity from your past. It could be a whole host of things that are stealing joy from your life. But nature traditionally does not steal from us. So on our day-to-day, unless there's an actual weather crisis, on our day-to-day, even if it's not great weather, it's still an environment that gives us joy. Nature is not a thief. Nature is not going to steal your joy. Think of nature like a blank slate, and it's a canvas. So what you can do right now is look at each and every room as a blank slate and as canvas that you can start incorporating more decor and items in your home that will help to bring nature in. Now you might be wondering, why should you bring nature into your home to begin with? Because maybe you're thinking, I'm not going to have gallbladder surgery anytime soon, and I don't feel like my immune system is distressed in any way. Well, there's a lot of reasons to bring nature into the home or to get out in nature more often. And some of those reasons are that you will be less angry in general. So these are all studies that have been proven. Less angry in general, less stressed, happier, more content. Your blood pressure traditionally lowers when you're out in nature or when you bring nature more into your home. You also will feel less inflammation. You will have less joint pain, less aches and pains. You will even have less fear. So what I noticed with everybody that was in isolation recently is that the more people were in isolation, we saw people being more angry and more fearful. And so the more people were integrating with nature a little bit more, their stress levels seemed to go down considerably. But the bottom line is the more you are isolated and disconnected, not just from other people, but from nature, the more you're going to feel a level of distress. That distress could be anger, it could be fear, it could be anxiety, it could be depression, and it can start to embody itself that you will have high heart rate, high blood pressure, aches and pains. So you can have a lot of different things happening just because you're more disconnected with nature. I have something absolutely incredible. So if you head over to Awesomeology 101, and the link is below, you're going to see more of this beautiful type of art. So this is woodworking and wood turning. It is absolutely mesmerizing to watch it being made, and it's really awe-inspiring to see it being made as well. And for me personally, this item is just so special, this vase that I'm going to show you. So this vase is made out of maple and it has cherry ends to it. It is absolutely stunning. To showcase this vase, I borrowed my girlfriend's house, and her husband is an artist, Brian Hearns, and I have his link below too to his Etsy shop. I asked friends and family for advice on how to bring nature into the home more, especially using this specific vase. So Lorraine John said, using tall types of stalks and then a trailing vine, giving a feeling of heaven and earth. I thought that was beautiful. Linda, who I have known since high school, said daisies, wildflowers, and she liked the idea of picnics or more informal settings as well. Heather, who is a relative of mine, said she wanted something that was more focused on bamboo and something that was more like of a spa feeling. Sonia, who I have known since elementary school, said that she would do something more with eclectic and peacock feathers and really using more of a multimedia type of a focus, and I thought that was gorgeous too. Thank you so much to Tim from Awesomeology 101. Everyone, his link is below. And also thank you to Tina and Brian Hearns, who opened up their home. And you have noticed a lot of Brian's art. His information is below as well. And just a quick reminder, please subscribe and ring the bell so that we can stay connected. I have another video for you.